Hey everyone, Matron here bringing you another Starcraft 2 commentary, this time Game 6 of the clan war between EG, Evil Geniuses, and vVv Gaming. This is part of the finals of the SCL clan wars, so both these teams have been through the playoffs and knocked off a number of teams and finally made it to these finals, hoping to be crowned champion of this Season 1 of the SCL. So we did see EG Axslav has been on a roll in this competition, knocking off vVv Murder and vVv Titan on Scrap Station in the last game, hoping to complete the kill here and win it for his Evil Geniuses team by knocking off vVv Time. So we'll open up here on Steps of War. We do have Axslav, slow it down to faster there. Axslav spawning as the blue Protoss in the northeast corner, and vVv Time spawning as the pink Protoss in the southwest corner. So it will be a PvP. We have not seen a mirror matchup in this tournament quite yet. Typically the PvP, the ZVZ, the TVT matchups all play very interestingly, almost different than any other matchup. In PvP we often see variations of the 4-gate, sometimes 3-gate, and people will be chrono boosting out early units, trying to get to their enemy base just a little bit earlier than the enemy can get defenses up. And in the endgame we often see Colossi come out. It's pretty much one of the biggest complaints about the community at this point is just how prevalent Colossi are in the late game of Protoss vs Protoss. So we do see Time is the last player up for vVv Gaming. They are running out of time, and he's hoping to be able to knock off Axslav, but Axslav's already done a ton of damage, taking down 2 players from vVv Gaming, putting EG up 3-2. And we do see a gateway going down for both players. If we check the production tab, almost equal timing on pretty much everything right now. We do see Time sending that probe out. He's going to check the natural and the top of his base as well for any sort of proxy play. This being vVv's last chance and possibly last game. He wants to make sure he's not going to be losing to any sort of cheese. So sending his probe over into the base of Axslav. And one of the things you want to look for in this PvP matchup is you want to make sure you're timing the gas and seeing whether your opponent's going to get up a cybernetics core or a second gateway right away. We sometimes see 2 gateways and a lot of early zealot pressure coming out. So Time will see the 1 gateway. He does see the gas as well. He needs to move that probe out of there. And we see the cybernetics going down, actually trapping that probe. He cannot get out. So Axslav going to take down the scout of Time, but Time does see that cybernetics core. It's going to give him confidence to throw up his own. He might have been saving minerals there to perhaps throw up a gateway if he did see 2 gates go up. And Axslav is going to be 1 probe ahead at the moment. He's going to have that scout in the base of Time. Time is not going to have a scout at the 3 to 5 minute mark here unless he sacrifices another probe. So he's not going to be able to see whether Axslav is going for a 1 gate into Robo or whether he's going to be fast expanding off 1 gate or adding more gateways. Time getting out. Looks like 2 early zealots here, chrono boosted out, and going to play Ring Around the Rosie with that probe around that gateway. He does not want Axslav to be able to see his build order here. Now sending out these 2 zealots, Axslav is going to see those zealots coming out, doing some chrono boosting of his own. And again, it's a race to units in this PvP matchup. You do not want to get behind in the early going. We see the zealots on their way over for Time. Are they going to be able to get there before Axslav can get some units up? He just has the 1 zealot right now. He does have a Stalker coming out as well. It was chrono boosted. So it's going to be 2-on-2 here, and the Zealot of Time getting in there a little bit ahead of his buddy. So he's going to be taking a few shots from that Stalker, going to have to retreat. And it looks like both the Zealots for Time are now retreating. See both players getting up their warp tech, trying to chrono boost it and make it go a little bit faster and earlier than their opponent. See Time getting up 3 gates. 2 gates already up for Axslav and working on a 3rd as well. Has a 2nd gas, and no 2nd gas yet for Time. So Time may be going for more of a push with just strong Zealot and Stalker pressure early on. Still no 2nd gas, so going to be a very late 2nd gas compared to Axslav. Both players about to complete their Warp Gate tech. It looks like Time was able to spend 1 more extra chrono boost on it and get it out a little bit faster, so he will be bringing 3 Warp Gates into play here. Both players have very small forces at the moment, quite equal. See 3 Stalkers and 1 Zealot compared to the 2 Stalkers and the 2 Zealots. Now we see another probe from Time going out here, perhaps hiding a probe, or maybe even looking for a proxy pylon. And a robotics facility going down for Axslav. He's also getting up a sentry, so he's going to be able to block off the ramp with that sentry. We see a lot of forces from Time moving out here. The probe from Axslav going to be able to see those forces, so he's going to perhaps chrono boost some gateways, make sure that he's going to be able to get out enough units to defend against this. And if he plays this right, he can trap a number of units up here. It looks like Time's sending up one Zealot just to see what it looks like up there, perhaps trying to bait the force field, and he will get it from that sentry. So the sentry is going to be all out of force fields for the time being. And looks like another sentry added to the mix, so could get one more force field. Time going to pull back, use this opportunity to throw up this Nexus, which is about halfway complete. So sort of feigning a little bit of pressure. Axslav is going to be teching up instead of expanding, getting out a robotics facility. Looks like we have good scouting by Axslav using this probe, sending it in here. He will see that the units of Time are at this this ramp, and that may signify to Axslav that an expansion is down for his opponent. So it looks like we have another probe coming out, perhaps to throw down an expansion of his own. And again, Axslav and EG have two chances to knock out Time here. So you don't have to go overboard, you don't have to take too many risks here. We see him teching up a very safe build, 3 gates into a robotics facility and then a robotics bay, hoping to get those Colossus up. We see vVv Time does have up the second Nexus, doing a good transfer. If we check out the income tab, it is 31 to 30, but Time will have his probes better distributed across these two bases, so we will have an advantage for the time being while Axslav tries to get up this second expansion. We see a probe coming in here for Time, something you will see at this high level of play. You want to send out a probe or a scout every few minutes to make sure that you're able to take advantage of any sort of timing windows and push out an attack at the right moment. Looks like we have a photon cannon coming up for Time, so that's going to guard against any sort of observer, as we do see an observer from Axslav is making his way around the base of Time, and if it just happens to fall into the range of this photon cannon, it will quickly be taken out. Looks like Time working, trying to get down those destructible rocks, adding another gateway and a Twilight Council, so we may see Blink, we may see Charge from Time, but I'm not sure how that's going to be able to compete with the Colossi of Axslav. He's got one coming out now and another one queued up. Does have his expansion coming up right now, so we see the income. It looks like Time has shot ahead 40 Harvesters to 35, and he's had that advantage for just a few minutes now. It looks like he is working on Blink as well as +1 weapons. So we will be seeing Blink and +1 weapons against the Colossi of Axslav. And remember, Time has been able to macro up a little bit more. He's got a slight advantage in army for the time being. And he's added a number of gates. He will now be on 4 gates. Looks like a 5th gate about to come up. Once you do get that second up and saturated, you can definitely support 5 or 6 gates, warping in constantly. And interesting, he is not taking a third, or his 4th gas yet, so just using Blink Stalkers, they're pretty cheap on gas, able to really keep those probes on the minerals rather than focusing on gas so much. Axslav trying to pump out Colossi, has to be on all 4 gas. If we check the army tab, it is again very even, but the choice is going to be clear here, and it's going to be quite a comparison. We'll have Colossi on one side, and we'll have Blink Stalkers on the other. And what the Stalkers are going to want to do is try to blink in, focus down those Colossi, force them to kite rather than just stand behind and shoot. And we do see the units of Time pushing across. The Zealot of Axslav will be able to see this group moving across here, and we wonder what Axslav is going to be able to do against these Blink Stalkers. Again, Blink also going to be able to quickly allow you to rearrange your units, get those Zealots in front. We see a Blink coming in, trying to focus down one of those Colossi, goes down very quickly, trying to focus down the second. Axslav doing a good job keeping it on the high ground, out of range of many of these Stalkers, but another Blink comes in, that 10 seconds went up, and the second Blink came in, able to focus down that second Colossi. Looks like Time pulling back here, did a lot of damage. Not able to take down many of the gateway units of Axslav, but he did lighten the army by 2 Colossi. So now we see more and more units coming in for Time, as he is using the Blink micro here. Anytime one of these units is low on shields and life, just going to blink it backwards, hoping to deal a lot of damage. Blinking in again, trying to focus down that Colossus. 1 Colossus on the field for Axslav. He does micro it back very nicely there, so it is going to be out of the way of these Stalkers, but a lot of Stalkers in here for Time. Axslav doing his best to reinforce with more Stalkers in the top of the ramp. Another Blink coming in here. He might be able to get, yes, he does get the Colossus down. So now it's going to be a lot of Stalkers versus very few Stalkers. Axslav does have the home field advantage. He's going to be able to warp in units here, maybe getting out of Sentry to try to force field this ramp, but it's not going to matter. These Stalkers are going to be able to blink up here now. A Colossus coming out, so Axslav needs to use this Colossus, pulling off a number of probes as well, trying to get the Stalkers, and he is able to clean that up. But we see more reinforcements coming from Time. He did throw down a proxy pylon, coming in with a lot of Stalkers now. Looks like 10 Stalkers there, going to be taking on the natural of Axslav, and he's going to have to come in here with another wave of gateway units, try to take down these Stalkers. Another blink coming in here, focusing down that Colossus best they can. They're able to take it down right there, and now need to do their best to focus down these Stalkers. That's the only thing left on the field for Axslav. The Sentry's not doing too much damage past those force fields, and Time going to be able to do his best here. 5 Stalkers to the few remaining units of Axslav, and more Stalkers pouring in here for Time, so quite an economic game for Time. He's going to have a ton of Stalkers here, doing a little bit of a rallying cry or a battle cry there, saying Alejandro, and he's got these Stalkers streaming in, taking down the Stalkers of Axslav, pulling probes. That's never a good sign, and more units coming in for Time, trying to blink and take out these last few remaining units for Axslav. But another Colossus pops out, and more Stalkers coming out for Axslav as well, so he is going to be able to turn this away. Wow, so Time doing his best, supporting with more Stalkers, another batch of them coming in, whether he's able to use that blink micro to snipe this Colossus. There goes this blink and the snipe on the Colossus, not able to get it though, so the Colossus still doing damage. Another blink coming in, and the Colossus goes down, and now it's just so many Stalkers for Time, taking down Axslav. Axslav gives the GG, is not able to complete the series for EG, and Time, just in the nick of time, able to take the series to a 7th game, so a deciding game coming up here between vVv Time, and it looks like EG's last player will be LZ Gamer. So in this game, we saw 2 very different strategies. Time pushing out with a little bit of early aggression just so he could set up that natural. He got it up about a minute before his opponent, did a very good transfer, was about double the economy mineral-wise of his opponent, and went very basic units. We often see in this PvP matchup, the person that has the most Colossi is going to be able to win the majority of the time, but Time went for a very macro-oriented build. A lot of gates here. It looks at the end he was on 8 gates. So that's 8 Stalkers every cycle. Chrono boost off of 2 Nexus as well on some of those warp gates. And with the blink, able to blink in there, get sight on the high ground up that ramp, and then snipe off those Colossus before they're able to do too much damage. Also, the +1 might have been a big factor as well, just doing a little bit more damage with those Stalkers. They do bonus damage against the armored as well. So Time able to take this one and end the reign of Axslav, forcing a Game 7. Wow, a lot of action in this one. So we will have a Game 7 coming up. It's for all the marbles, and for the finals of this SCL Clan War. I'll go ahead and cast that for you right now. So thanks for watching this one. I will see you there.